Board meeting for the Pontiac School District. Thank you for those who are at home. Thank you for those who are in the audience. We have a great meeting scheduled for this evening. Madam Secretary is here. Thank you for being here, but the Vice President wants to take over her duties for this evening. President, can you take roll call, please?
I will.
Thank you.
Trustee Bowman.
Present.
Trustee Kraft.
Present.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Present.
President Garrett.
Present.
I am present. Secretary Hannah.
Present.
And Treasurer Terry.
Present.
Sir, you have a quorum of 7.
All right, thank you. We can all stand for the pledge of allegiance, please.
Left, face, raise that, arms.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Forward, march.
Thank you. Need a motion on the floor to amend the agenda to place under general counsel for discussion and action. C2(1) would be DTE easement right away at the admin building. That's for discussion and action. And C2(2) would be renewal of lease agreement at the Fellows Safe Center with professional ground services.
So
Moved by trustee Gross, supported by trustee Davis Smith. Questions, comments, or concerns to the amendment of the agenda? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I am voting yes. Secretary Hannah.
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
And Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Sir, to amend the agenda as 7-0.
Thank you. Need a motion on the floor to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by trustee Bowman, supported by trustee Terry. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Secretary Hannah.
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
And Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Sir, to the agenda pass 7.
All right, thank you. We're gonna move down now to awards and recognition. Interim Superintendent, the meeting is now yours.
Good evening. Thank you, President Garrett, Board Trustees. We are very excited to recognize and award these honorees. And the first one this evening is for our senior, Adam Pope. Adam Pope was crowned champion for his 3rd season in a row. Adam is still currently undefeated on the season and ranked number 3 in the state of Michigan. And the certificate of distinction that we present to Adam this evening reads, in recognition of his 100th career win as part of the Pontiac High School wrestling team. We congratulate him on this landmark achievement and continue to celebrate his many successes as a Pontiac Phoenix. Congratulations, Adam Pope.
So, Dr. Leverett,
Yes.
the Vice President, we also did a resolution form. We didn't get a chance to read it last week, so he's gonna read it now, his resolution.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. The School District of the City of Pontiac Board of Education, resolution honoring Adam Pope Jr. Whereas the School District of the City of Pontiac has been privileged to educate thousands of individuals within the district's school over the decades who have obtained exceptional achievements while in school and after graduating from the district. Whereas Adam Pope Jr. attends Pontiac High School in the Pontiac School District. Whereas he is on the Pontiac High School wrestling team. Whereas he has been All-State for the past 3 years. Whereas he was the 2021 Michigan High School Athletic Association Individual Wrestling Champion. Whereas he has just completed a landmark 100th wrestling victory. Resolved, the Board of Education for the School District of the City of Pontiac hereby celebrates the achievements of Adam Pope Jr. and honors in him on behalf of the entire Pontiac School District, and further resolve that we look forward to sharing his future successful endeavors throughout his educational, athletic, and professional future. Sincerely, the entire board adopted on this day, February 5th, the year 2024.
He wants to say something. You're not Adam Pope Jr.
I just wanted to start off by thanking God, thanking my family, thanking my teammates, coaches, and just everybody that's been supporting me and being there for me. And this weekend I'll be wrestling Saturday, so like this doesn't end for me. It'll keep going. So yeah, thank you.
Any comments from the board? Trustee Craig.
Congratulations, and let you know that we're proud of you. And I think you don't really understand the magnitude of what you accomplished. And 100 victories, that's remarkable. Thank you, and thank you for bringing it to us. Keep up the good work.
All right, thank you. Trustee Terry.
Thank you. Congratulations, first off. You're making history. Not only yourself, but the team that you work with, your coaches, your family, the community. So I want to say, keep it up, continue to shine, do your thing, because obviously we know you love it. You got 100, about to be 100 plus wins going on. So continue to strive, and don't forget about Pontiac. Make sure you come back and visit us and tell us some more wonderful stories, because we'd love to see where you go in the future. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Trustee Bowman.
I just wanted to say congratulations. I remember you wrestling before you were on high school, when your parents and your father were at the high, you just a little young one. So just to see you accomplish so much, and thank you for being a great representation of Pontiac. As my vice president always likes to say, what school district? Pontiac School District. Thank you for being a great representation of the community. Keep up the good work.
I just want to say you are a great representation of hard work and discipline, and a true role model for your classmates. So keep up the good work.
All right, Trustee Davis-Smith.
My board members basically said everything, but I wanted to say that I'm so proud of you and the way you present yourself on and off the mat. Like, I've seen you on both sides, and I'm grateful that you always show great teamwork, and also you're very respectful and great in school. So I'm so proud of you, and keep up the good work.
All right, thank you. Vice President Gross.
Thank you. He knows how I feel about him because we've done this for 15 years.
Can you grab that mic, because
Yeah.
they can't hear you at home.
Okay, yes. From his freshman year, I've been his announcer. And you don't see announcers in wrestling. But because of him and his brother, how special they are. But I want to say this real quick. I had a wonderful conversation with his parents. And one of the things that we talked about
is that they kept their kids in Pontiac. Both him and his brother, who is on a wrestling scholarship at Rochester College, where he was the freshman of the year in wrestling. And he continues to do well, and this young man is headed right there in his footsteps. So I commended them because they made the decision. They knew the ability of their children. But Dad knows he comes from a wrestling family where his dad was wonderful at Pontiac Northern. And I watched him wrestle. And he made the decision, both him and his wife, to keep their children here in Pontiac. Not just for the wrestling, but the fact is they could have went anywhere in the United States and be noticed by anybody in this country. But they realized how important it was to keep them at home. That much I appreciate, as much as I do with this young man and what he has done. Because the belief that you had in the school district, that you have, and you continue to have. So if you have any more kids, just bring them on.
All right, thank you, sir. Congratulations again, sir. Thank you so much. Dr. Leverett.
Thank you. And now we'll have Dr. Powell, who's the principal of Whitman. They have a great partnership, a wonderful volunteer who was not able to be with us this evening. But I do want Dr. Powell to share with you what this partnership has been able to do in terms of the laundry program, because when we see a need, it has certainly been met and it has blessed our students and our community. So Dr. Powell, if you could just speak to that briefly, please.
Good evening, board members and community members. We received a grant from Whirlpool, and the program is called Care Count. And what they did, they provided us, we're the second school, I think, in Michigan to receive the Care Count program. And what that is, they awarded us with a washer and dryer. As you know, some of our kids, they come, they don't have uniforms, and they don't come. So our goal, our attendance goal, is to try to get it up to 95% attendance. And having this program, have we seen a difference as we look at the data to say, is this program working? Yes, it has. In October, we had 58 students who had perfect attendance. November was 47, and we just did, December was 40. And then we just did a attendance party last Friday, and we had 37 that had perfect attendance. So the thing is, we're doing everything. This program has really made a difference in keeping our kids clean and keeping them in school. So I have Miss Irene, they call her Miss Irene. She comes in, she's a volunteer. She went to Pontiac School. She comes in, she makes sure that any kid that needs, family that needs clothes washed, they can drop them off, they can sign up, and she makes sure that the clothes are clean, are folded. And we had CBS was in to do a story on it. Also, Channel 2 did a story on it. And really, and I like to say the positive thing is just that it has made a difference. Even, was it a couple of weeks ago, I was walking down the hall, and my little Keon, that little my hoodie he had on, he said, Miss Dr. Paul, didn't you tell me you was gonna wash my jacket? And I just turned around and went onto the wash in the area where we have it, and washed the jacket, and it made all the difference in the world. It came out just smiling. So I thank God that we do have this program, and it is truly making a difference with our people and our building that relationship with the students as well as the community. So I'm gonna accept her.
But thank you, Dr. Powell, and we thank Ms. Irene so much for volunteering and being able to step in and fill a need for our students. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Pontiac Middle School basketball team. I will read what the first certificate says, and then I'll call each student. Please come up to be recognized. This certificate of distinction, this certificate is proudly presented to Caden Covington and the entire Pontiac Middle School 8th grade boys basketball team for their hard work this season that helped lead them to a championship. We are proud of their dedication and commitment as a Phoenix team. Congratulations and keep up the great work. Caden Covington. Carmelo Joyner. Marcus Brown. Desmond Fitch. Julius Stovall. Jameer Lyles. Jake Bridges. Caleb Seawright. Terry Burks. Conley Leatherwood. Dontrell Spillers. William Perhay. Justin Rivera. Quavion Taylor. So that is it, and we will have some words from our athletic director. But look at these champions! Don't they?
So Dr. Leverett, if the head coach, Coach Hall is here, we want to join your team, sir. And if you have something to say before the AD speaks, please do so. He normally does an official dunk when he always wins something. We don't have no rim or nothing on here, so. And y'all just bought us these LED lights, so we don't want to knock them out either.
Good evening, good evening. Only thing I got to say is I'm proud of the guys. They come in, they work, they believe. That's what it is. More than anything, they believe in themselves. A couple guys couldn't make layups when we first started, but they just kept going. They kept playing hard. They believe in each other. They trust in the system we got going on. Thanks to Coach Covington. The whole staff, our principals over there every day, dealing with them. I thank y'all every day for working with us every day, because I know it's a hard day every day in there. And of course, I'm the gym teacher there too, so I know. So I thank y'all, appreciate that. Everybody, the support system in here, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for everything. We'll be back next year.
Where did you play when you were young?
Athletic
Athletic Director Covington for Pontiac High. Please, thank you, sir. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Coach Hall. After speaking with him last year about coaching the boys, he's like, I don't think I'm ready to coach yet. I said, yes, you are. You played for good coaches at Pontiac Northern. You went on and played at Texas Southern University. You played professionally overseas for a little while. You ready?
Mexico and Canada.
And he took the challenge. You know, last year was a good year, but it was a kind of a struggle. And when he came back this year, he said, you know, we got a special team. And what people don't realize is, you know, we set the tone in the OAA this year because we had complaints. Schools thought we was cheating. But the one thing that I'm proud about is all these young men got great grades. And the reason why Coach Hall said we're going to be back next year is because 3 of them are only 7th graders. So we have a great chance of being up here again next year. Before I make my presentation, I have a trophy that will be presented. I have a special guest. Those that don't know, we got all new uniforms this year through Moneyball Sports, and I have the CEO and the owner of Moneyball Sports here that would like to give our guys a special gift for their championship season, if he can. Desmond Ferguson, would you please sit down?
Desmond Ferguson, owner of Moneyball Sportswear. So we made these T-shirts, undefeated, with all the players' names on there, as well as the regular, as well as the team and the score. So real quick, fellas, congratulations on a undefeated season. When you can be undefeated in any sport at any level, that's a great accomplishment. But at the same time, don't let this be your last major accomplishment in life. You guys want to go into high school and graduate and be successful. Men, you know, parents, fathers, and so forth. Coach Hall, you guys got a great coach. As Coach Cub said, somebody that's from the same area you guys are from, had a chance to play at the collegiate and professional level. And now he's back giving his time, effort, and energy to help you guys become good as he was and even better. That takes a special individual. And I'm glad you guys, looks like you guys listened to him for the most part this year. We're undefeated, so keep that up. And, you know, hope you guys like the uniforms that we provided for you guys. You know, live by the word of Coach Ryan. You know, you look good, you play good, you play good, they pay good. All right.
Lastly, on my behalf, we had some sweatshirts also made for the young men with all their names and even the scores on the back, you know, so they will always be able to see the accomplishments that they had. And on the last thing, I would like to ask Miss Rush and Miss Coleman Jones to come up. We would like to present this middle school with this trophy. This trophy reads Oakland Activities Association 2023-2024 8th grade league champs, 12-0. Funny story about Miss Coleman Jones and Miss Rush. They were at the games. They had pom-poms. They running up and down the sideline cheering, and you know, it was great. The environment at the middle school was really great this year. It was very exciting. So, like we said, we will be back this year. Young men, keep up the grades because that's first in my book. Let's get trophies because of academics also. All right?
See me afterwards, I'll have your shirt. So I want to take a, hold on, Coach. Coach, hold on one second, Coach. I want to take a point of privilege at this point in time, because we have Commissioner Powell and Mayor here. If there's anything that you want to say while these gentlemen are here, because typically we have them leave because they've had a long day, but I do want to recognize you two for being here. And Judge Master himself, if you could just say, if you wanted to say anything to him while you come to the mic so the people can hear you too. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank y'all for allowing me to take that point of privilege.
So I'm Angela Powell, Oakland County Commissioner, and I'm a graduate. All the way from K through 12, I went to Pontiac Northern, and I am going to say, this is amazing. This is a great accomplishment. And let me say this, just stay focused. Stay away from all the riffraffs. Y'all got great leaders. And I know that it's challenging sometimes in your school, but guess what? Y'all showing other students that good things can happen at Pontiac School District. Because there's a lot of naysayers out here. But y'all showing the difference. So congratulations, keep up the good work. And I can't wait to I'm gonna try to get to the game. I'm sorry I missed them, but you did a good job. Yeah.
Well, I am just blown away by the accomplishments here, and this is really, really impressive. You know, all of you are incredibly impressive young men. That goes for Mr. Polk as well, who I think is still here somewhere. Oh, there we go. So just everyone who has been so successful in athletics really exhibits a lot of important qualities. A lot of people always talk about talent. Well, as you know, someone who's been successful, it's about a lot more than talent. Talent is maybe 10%, if that, about what really determines success. It's really about dedication. It's about valuing teamwork. It's about focus. It's about hard work. And those are qualities that are going to pay off no matter what you do in life. They certainly pay off in athletics, but they pay off in academics. They pay off regardless of what you end up doing for work and a career. And so I just want to commend all of you for being so incredibly successful, because I know that that's laid on a foundation that's going to pay off with all of your future endeavors. So I want to congratulate each and every one of you and just tell you that you make all of us here in the city of Pontiac incredibly proud. Congratulations and keep up the great work.
Comments from the board at this time? Comments from the board. Trustee Craft.
I'll be brief. Congratulations. As you know, I probably went to all of your games. So I saw how amazing they were. And just to have that 12-0 record, that was something I've never seen in my lifetime here in Pontiac Middle School history. So really, they really need a pat on the back. And it starts from the leadership right here. And he's instilling those values. And they actually run plays. You know a coach when he can go to the clipboard and draw a design for play, instead of coming and telling, hey, you go here and go there. So that's when you got a coach. He needs to be commended.
Congratulations to you all. It's a pleasure and such a reward, as they were calling a lot of the names. I know for sure a lot of your parents went here from Pontiac School District, and it's just a beautiful thing that a lot of family legacies have continued. As always, I would like to say I need more gear. I need middle school gear so that I can represent. I already have wrestling, so bring me my shirt. But congratulations and keep up the good work.
You young men have brought so much energy and school spirit to the school district, not just the district, not just the middle school, but to the community. So to the leadership, thank you so much for what you have instilled into these young men, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I wanted to say congratulations to you guys again. The other thing is I'm so proud of you guys academically. That is amazing to me. That's what matters the most. It's good that you have talent like like Mayor Grandma said, but it's the dedication you guys did on and off the court. And I also want to say that Coach Hall is my little cousin. And so he was very terrified to coach. And I just know the love that he had for the sport and for you guys. Like every week, he stressed about feeding y'all and making sure y'all have y'all Gatorade. So I'm so glad that you guys work hard for him, because he really do work very, very hard for you guys. Everything he does is for you guys to be successful. So I'm so proud of all of y'all, and I'm glad that you were able to be successful like he wanted.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Terry.
I just want to say congratulations. You guys did an awesome job. Once again, we're making history here. So I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all got bragging rights. So walk around with your heads up. You know, stick your chest out a little bit if you want to, but let everybody know that y'all won the championship, 12-0, undefeated. Y'all doing your thing. And obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in the future, and the Pontiac High School as well, as y'all continue to grow, continue to do your thing, continue to stay with your academics, and also to the support team that's out there. You know, I want to say thank you guys for supporting them. You know, making sure they getting their homework done, making sure they was in practices, making sure they was putting in that time and that commitment. So I want to say thank you to all the parents and all the community out there and the groups that was out there just pushing them, and continue to push them and making them do the things they need to get done and making them accomplish this awesome thing with this history right now. So hats off to you guys. Congratulations and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. I am extremely proud of all of you. And I commend the parents for your commitment. So now, I'm not a predictor of the future, right? But I can see we'll be doing this in high school, raising the all-state band. I believe that. I see that. So I'm sending a message out to West Bloomfield, Orchard Bay, Country Day, Waterford Mod, Oxford, Lake Orion. Leave these boys alone. Because they belong to who? To who? One more time. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much. We're gonna move down to a recognition of elected officials, but before we do that, because ladies and gentlemen, they've had a long day in class. We like to just start our meetings out with recognizing our students, because that's what we're here for. So we like to celebrate them first. And so we'll take a 5-minute recess to get them, out of here and home and ready to start their academics tomorrow. Okay? 5-minute recess. Thank you.
Hey, Marcus,
Yeah, he needs to just come, make sure he gets her, give it to her. That way that when we do college decision day, y'all there, decision day is gonna be on May first. So we're gonna try to like this.
Thanks for taking the picture. It's like couldn't even get through.
Yeah, you know. Like if he's got his letter.
Yeah, what I needed.
One, two, three. This teacher face. Hello, how you You stupid. You gotta wear it, right? Yeah, you gotta wear it. All right. What is your name? You still up there with the rest?
So I need to get something else on the Facebook page because all of them have to keep communications. I only had two. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I want to see if we can put something on Facebook because on the district's Facebook page because we only have about 15 kids signed up. And we can also put it on the website. Right. You can put it on there under your okay, will you email me this information? Okay. Tomorrow I'll make sure that it goes. Thank you so much because everybody was supposed to be signed up by last week and I couldn't. I thought more people would be signed up. It's so disheartening because this couple ladies like, we don't cancel this. We need 21 kids. I think if the parents understand exactly, I think that'll be a little bit better for them. So I'm gonna push this.
And hopefully you understand what I tried to write in that letter. I had a wonderful person type it, but I wrote some of the changes that are made in that. So I hope you understand that. And I don't want, you got a big agenda today, and I think I've said enough, but God bless Pontiac, and God bless all the school districts and what you all do in support of that school district. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Mr. Mayor, if you wanted to, you're on the agenda to speak under our regular board discussion, but if you wanted to take time under this, you would. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. We're going to move down to the consent agenda items. I need a motion on the floor to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
So moved by trustee Bowman, supported by trustee David Smith. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
President Garrett,
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Secretary Hannah,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Trustee David Smith. Sir, to the approval of the consent agenda passed 7-0.
All right, thank you. Going to move down to information from the interim superintendent and administration. Interim superintendent, the meeting is now yours. Report 1, Promise Zone presentation.
Thank you, President Garrett. Excuse me. This evening, we are excited to have Coco come before us and talk about the Promise Zone. It is very exciting. And every time I hear you do a presentation, it is the passion and the commitment and the dedication and the forethought and all of those things that go into this Promise Zone and the advantage that our students can take to afford them a better opportunity in the future. So come with that ray of sunshine that we love to hear from you, Coco.
I'm always happy to come and talk about how much work we are doing in Pontiac. I haven't seen those babies come up here. I was over there like, oh, they're all scholars. And so it's always a pleasure to come before this board. So to the Board of Trustees, President Garrett, Interim Superintendent, I am very grateful that you all always give us the opportunity to come before you and report out the work that we are doing in this district. I would also like to acknowledge my board members who are here, our board chair, Teresa Rogers, our treasurer, Mr. Christopher Northcross. Thank you for being here. And with that, I just wanted to give you an update of what we're actually doing with the Pontiac Promise Zone. We have come a long way since I started in 2021. When we started, we started with a small amount, $28,000. Then I did a little work, told the board what we needed to be doing with our students, moved it to $36,000. And then last year, our board made a gracious decision to increase our funding to $50,000 for every student in the district of the city of Pontiac. And so with that, you have the clicker. I just want to share with you our latest video concerning our mission and vision. If you will. Mind your way. Is it download?
I'd like to put a motion on the floor that we go to all Apple products.
I'm so sorry.
Yep, old Google.
So while we're waiting for it to download, we actually had our annual meeting this past fall in November, where we have the opportunity to share.
Welcome to Pontiac Promise Zone, where we specialize in hope and making dreams come true.
My name is Raymond Wiggins Jr., and it is an honor to be a part of a movement in a community that I was born and raised in. In 2021, the Pontiac Promise Zone awarded $498,000 in scholarships. In 2022, $855,000 in scholarships. Just alone this year, $550,000 in scholarships. Pontiac, this is what it looks like when we stand behind our children to move forward, because failure is not an option.
Hi, I'm Dorinda Shaw, one of the program coordinators for the Pontiac Promise Zone. And I'm very excited to be a part of this team. I'm excited for the work that we're doing here in the community. I'm excited for the students because as a parent, I understand the challenges and barriers in sending your child to school. I understand that there's financial barriers, and the Promise Zone is doing a great work trying to ensure that students have what they need. I'm excited to be a part of this team. I'm Coco Mulder, and I am the Executive Director for the Pontiac Promise Zone. I am so happy to tell you about the great things that we've been able to accomplish here at the Pontiac Promise Zone. With the efforts of our staff, with the efforts of our board of directors, we have made such great strides over the past couple of years. We have moved our funding from $28,000 to $36,000, and now we are offering our students $50,000 to cover the dreams that they have and the futures that they're hoping for. When we talk about the Promise Zone, we talk about all the things that our children have the opportunities to pursue when they put their best efforts for. And with this Promise Zone funding, our children can go to 2-year, 4-year colleges and universities, skilled trade programs, apprenticeship programs, GED programs. And you know what? To the Pontiac community, we're just getting started.
Because of the Pontiac Promise Zone, I was able to give back to my community the way that it gave back to me by becoming a career and education navigator.
It's not every day that I get to serve my community the way my community has served me. And I owe that to Pontiac Promise Zone for making my dreams a reality. Now back to the grind.
From Pontiac High School to Cordoba Health, because of the Pontiac Promise Zone, now I'm able to assist surgeons and save lives. Anything and everything is possible.
Because of Pontiac Promise Zone, I was able to live up my dream of becoming a respiratory therapist. Thank you, Pontiac Promise Zone.
That's Dorinda, Miss Shy over here. So when she goes back, you can go to the next slide. That's not me. That's the technology over there.
No, she's winning.
School board president.
Y'all want to reconsider that motion?
You can go to the third slide and start it from there. So if you look at this this screen right here, what I wanted you to take a look at is the eligibility that has happened in the school district since the inception of the school district starting the Pontiac Promise Zone back in 2010, and then it coming into fruition in 2011. I was actually still teaching in the school district between 2011 and 2014, so has nothing to do with me. But if you look at the eligibility means the number of students that are actually in the system who qualify for Promise Zone dollars, and that they actually put their information into our system so that they qualify for us to pay for them to go into a post-secondary opportunity. So as you can see in 2021, when I first started, that's where the numbers were. And then as you go to 22 and 23, you see an exponential growth. And what that means is that by coming to the board, coming into the community, word of mouth, people dragging kids into this system, we have increased the number of students that are now eligible for Promise Zone dollars and are in the system ready to be paid for. So if you look at 2024, that was as of fall, as of October, that's where we are. We have about 242 students in the district. We are almost at capacity for all of our students enrolled into the Pontiac Promise Zone. So that's wonderful news right there. Next slide. So here's our data in terms of our funding. As of January 31st, 2024, we have given out $955,038.15 in scholarships. I can't read that number this far, but I think the year before says 776. So last year we did 776, and right now as of January, we are at 955,000.
Awesome.
So we have increased our funding. And if you look at the year before, 2021, 2022, when I first started, me and my team, we were at 500,000 for the year. So if you see the exponential growth, we've gone from 500,000 in our first year that I was the executive director to now we're at almost $1 million in scholarships to our students that deserve it in the school district of the city of Pontiac. Next slide. So how are we doing this? We are doing this because we have partnered with Pontiac Collective Impact in a collaboration. So this collaboration, as you can see by the logos here, includes Oakland University, OCC, Catholic Charities, the Casa Amiga, Oakland Forward, E-Community Outreach, La Familia, Central Multicultural La Familia. All of these entities come together once a month to talk about how do we move the needle for our students. And the only way that we know that we can move the needle is to help our students fulfill their FAFSA obligation. Because statistically, if a student does not fill out the FAFSA, they are not going to school. Our scholarship does not require and mandate that they have to complete it. They just have to attempt to do it. However, if they don't do it at all, they will not enroll anywhere. And so we have pushed the gavel through Pontiac Collective Impact to really go to work to get this to happen for our students. Because you know what? This money is theirs to use. It is our obligation to make sure that they are taking advantage. We are not telling them what to do with it. We are encouraging them to use it. Next slide. Keep going. So how do we do this? We do it in these three ways. Community collaboration. We meet, we grind, we argue, we try and find an answer. It requires that the community provides information back to us. Even if you don't have time, if there's a suggestion that you have for us, in order to meet this action team, we ask that you reach out to any one of those organizations, volunteer, send an email, send a pigeon out, whatever you need to do, smoke signals. We will take all suggestions. What do we want to do? We want to increase the FAFSA enrollment. We know that FAFSA was delayed this year. I don't know if families know that. It was usually opens in October. It did not open until December 31st, and it immediately crashed. So that means every single person that is currently enrolled or needs to be enrolled were delayed in their process. So when I say my team, De'Ara is here. She's the college advisor over at Pontiac High. They are really doing the work and grabbing these students, helping mothers and fathers fill out these applications. Our Hispanic students need a lot of help because the federal government has now mandated that it doesn't matter how you got here, they still want your information. So now if you have family who is living here in the state of Michigan and you got family who lives in Venezuela, they still want your mama and daddy's information. So those are some of the changes that we are facing with our students. So now, whereas before there was no reason or there weren't that many barriers, the government they have found a way to get the information the best way that they can. And so it's our obligation to help families do that. So if you are a parent or a student out there who has a question about your FAFSA, this team is out here to help you get it done. There's staff at Pontiac High, staff at ITA, as well as the other schools in the district. We will set up Zooms. We will set up workshops at the library, at any school, if need be, to help you get this done. We want our kids to be successful. The only way that they're successful is for them to utilize this funding. So how do we do this? We encourage our kids to choose their pathway. We don't tell them what to do. If a kid's calling the Pontiac Promise Zone and saying they want to be this, we will walk them through a process of success coaching. 2-year, 4-year certificates, apprenticeship programs. Yes, we do investment. Yes, we go and visit. Yes, we sit down with the schools to see if our kids can be successful. If they don't do well at one school, we will help them transfer to another school. Our job is to have them utilize this money in an appropriate manner. Okay? Next one. So what do we need? We need 100% eligibility enrollment into the Pontiac Promise Zone across the district. So we are accountable for 10 schools. Our main 2 schools are Pontiac High and the ITA. Pontiac ITA has 68 students that are classified seniors. 63 of the 68 have completed their eligibility enrollment. It's beautiful. Pontiac High, Pontiac High has a larger number. They are at about 82% of completion. So it's doable, and it's only doable when people are also working with us. So we want 80% FAFSA completion across the district, however, because we are accountable to the city of Pontiac as a promise zone. Our tax dollars pay for all 10 schools. Our main schools, however, our largest two schools are Pontiac High and ITA. So this district is accountable for all those babies, 242. So what do we want? 50% of those students to enroll somewhere within the first year. Okay? I say 2 years, but I really push for 1 year. So 50% of post-secondary enrollment within 2 years post-graduation. Because what people forget is that the Pontiac Promise Zone dollars can be used within 5 years of graduation. So we have 2019 is the last year for kids to qualify who are outside of the window. So if you have a student who graduated in 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, they are in the window for $50,000. That's just it. That's a lot of money. Keep going.
Yeah.
So what do we need? Number one reason why students do not complete their FAFSA, they don't believe they can afford college. That is no longer an excuse in Pontiac. This is the only reason, is they don't believe they can afford college. And if we are offering $50,000 to every single kid that has lived and graduated out of the school district of the city of Pontiac, this is no longer an excuse for why our babies cannot go into a post-secondary opportunity. And so I felt that call that the city needs the district and the district needs the city, because we all have to bring these kids into the fold. So I'm happy that kids from Pontiac are winning athletically and academically, because all I see is dollars when I see a whole team of 10, 11 Black boys doing the right thing, because I know that they're going to be taking advantage of $50,000 in 4 years, if not more than. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much again, always. Any comments from the board? Okay, Trustee Bowman.
Just want to say thank you for, taking up the role as the executive director for the Promise Zone. We have so much promise in this community, and with the light shining on the right things to do in the direction for the children, it makes a big difference. So thank you and your staff and your team so much for all that you do, because it makes a great impact in this community, and just continuing to move forward.
And I gave you a t-shirt. So
and thank you for the t-shirt. I'm going to definitely wear my shirt. Thank you so much.
Trustee Hannah.
Of course, thank you, Coco, and your team for sharing this information. One of the things I want to share too, in regards to that FAFSA application, some may know or may not know that last year, the enrollment rate for the Pontiac district was below 27%. It dropped 27% last year. So I am so confident that with the work of all of these partners, that we could definitely get our students back up, get enrollment up for the FAFSA application to make sure that these kids have an opportunity for post-secondary success. So thank you again.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Terry.
Great report. A lot of good information. I hope a lot of the parents were out there listening along with some of these students as well. The opportunity is there. A great opportunity that I know some of us did not have back in the day that we probably would have loved to have.
We would have
and they're right. The price of college and education is not going down.
No,
it's only going up. So at this point, whatever help you can get, I recommend taking advantage of that. If you need to get your students signed up, make sure you reach out to Ms. Coco Mulder or her staff to get signed up. The sooner the better. Obviously, we know first come, first serve. And it sounds like you're almost at your maximum, at your capacity.
I'm excited.
That's a good thing. Yes. So that's a good thing. So I just recommend you guys continue what you're doing. Continue to put the information out there and continue to push these students and let them know that there's an opportunity out there. You can get educated. You can pick up a skills trade. You can find you a specialty on the side, and you can come out debt free.
That part.
Debt free. I'm sure some of us are still paying back some of those.
I'm waiting for forgiveness.
But the debt free. So yeah, take advantage of it. So
Right.
thank you for your report. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, sir. Trustee David Smith.
Thank you. Actually, Trustee Terry just said, basically what I wanted to say, but what I will say is thank you so much, Coco, because since you've been on there, more people know about the Promise Zone, and I'm able to, send them to you guys, because I know the information as well now. And so I just wanted to say thank you for your hard work. It shows because more students and parents do know about the Promise Zone since you've been on board.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ma'am, as usual, thank you for everything that you do on behalf of our students. You've been doing it for quite some time. We have in our communications out in branding and marketing, we were trying to gather 22 billboards in the city to talk about what we're doing throughout the districts. There's several things that we've had to change, and there's several things that we made a priority, and this was one of the things. I know when we first got into leadership, this was a priority for us, so it was good to see those numbers. And so having a billboard to tell kids that you can afford college now, I think is a great investment. So we don't have to figure out what the other 21 billboards are going to look like. So we'll leave it out to communications, but thank you so much for taking the time out to express that with us, and having an office in the district helps. And those students that were part of that video came through our CTE program. There's a lot of wonderful things that's happening in the district. This board has decided to not focus on what's not happening, but to put more power into what is. And those who want to be a part of will be a part of it and know it to be so. So thank you so much for your presentation, and we welcome you back soon for another update.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Trustee Gross.
Just one question. You work with the parents to complete the FAFSA?
We do.
Okay, because that's a tough.
Yep. We will
thing
do it
to
in
do.
person. We will do it through Zoom. We will do it with them over the phone. If they have questions, they can call any one of those numbers, or they can call any one of those organizations, including OCC, Oakland 80. All of those entities have the capacity and trained staff that know what to do for those FAFSAs.
Just from experience alone, I found one of the most difficult parts of completely FAFSA when I was mentoring at JobLink. You remember that? Is parents, the unwillingness to give their financial information.
Holding it hostage.
And I know that it is tough for students because it's not their fault that their parents won't do. But I'm sure you guys have worked a way in order to convince them to do so, because how important it is. Well, if you give up this, you're only making this, you're going to get this.
And we do have access to a lot of since you brought that up, a lot of the onset of not doing it is because many of our families may have not filed their taxes.
That's true.
Right. That's one of the biggest barriers. And I think that what parents need to know is that it's not last year's taxes they're looking at 2022. And if they do have a problem because they may have not filed their taxes, we can refer them to somebody who will do it for free.
So that information, that's why I asked. So that information should be shared publicly like you just did. Thank you.
Yep. It takes a team.
It
So I
does.
think a lot of the fear is
Been there.
asking questions.
And how difficult it is, and especially free money.
Yeah.
Because of your kid is doing well.
Yep.
And they go, what school district?
Pontiac
Thank
School
you.
District. Only in Pontiac.
Only in Pontiac.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Thank
You're
you, ma'am.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Board, if we can move discussion item A down under B and allow Mayor Grimal to present his presentation, if you will, because that vote process is going to take a little bit. So if I could take that point of privilege to do so, and Mayor Grimal, you can join us on the dais for.
Thank you.
The mic is yours.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
And thank you, President Garrett, for the courtesy of moving me up a slot. That's very kind of you, so thank you. Well, let me begin by just greeting you properly. Good evening, President Garrett, members of the board, Dr. Leverett, and all members of the administration. I really appreciate your service to the young people of this community, so thank you for what you do day in and day out. I'm joined here by members of our Parks and Recreation team. We've got our relatively new still, about a month ago, brought on Torrance Price, our new Parks and Recreation Director. So
Welcome,
we're
sir.
honored to have him here. We have someone who I think all of you are familiar with, and that's our Youth Recreation Manager, Tanisha Taylor.
Welcome.
And then someone else you're all familiar with, to your point, Vice President Gross, is our one and only Assistant Youth Recreation Manager, John Cantrell, who is well known in the community as well. So wanted to come, and before I really get into the meat of the conversation, I did just want to mention one other item as well, which is, as many of you know, I visited Pontiac's sister city of Kusatsu, Japan, back in December. And during my visit, I really tried to emphasize the importance of deepening the relationship between both communities. And by community, I mean not just the city government itself, but also the school districts as well. And I did meet with the superintendent of the Kusatsu School District, who issued this letter addressed to you, President Garrett, talking about the importance of warm relations between the two school districts. And before I leave here, I'd like to present that to you as well. I think there are a lot of opportunities there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
But the main reason why I'm here is to really emphasize my hope that we can have greater collaboration between the city of Pontiac, the city government of Pontiac, and the school district of Pontiac. I think there are a lot of great opportunities that will benefit certainly the young people of the community first and foremost, but potentially people of all ages in the community. As the city succeeds, the school district succeeds, and vice versa. I firmly believe that the greater success that the school district experiences, the greater success that the city will experience. So we truly are in this together, and it benefits both parties, and most importantly, the residents of the community, to work together as often as possible. And we had I thought a good example of that when the youth recreation program partnered with the school districts to locate youth recreation programming, both basketball and a dance program at all of the elementary schools in the district. That was a huge success. We would love to see that come back to life. But I think there are countless opportunities for us to partner, and we're open to any and all suggestions about what that looks like. So we'd certainly love to initiate more of that dialogue. I brought my Parks and Rec team with me because obviously I think there are a lot of opportunities there that directly benefit young people, but we're open to any and all suggestions. So it's not even just limited necessarily to Parks and Recreation. There are probably a lot of potential collaborative opportunities available. And certainly I welcome any thoughts from you, President Garrett, members of the school board, the administration, but we really would love to see greater collaboration done in any form, because again, we believe that it's in the best interest of the residents of the community.
All right. Thank you, sir. Any, of course, in this particular manner, I'm always the last one to go last. So any comments from the board? No? Before? Good. Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, and
Good evening.
as well to your team. And it's an honor and pleasure to see you here. Thank you, and thank you for your presence. I appreciate your words. Being the longest tenured board member here into my 12th year, I recall the what we attempted to do years ago when Walter Moore was the honorable mayor here, and the relationship and the meetings at Oakland schools and all those things we did. And it's good to see that you're here willing to make that choice to work directly with us, and your presence speaks. So thank you. I know with this board and speaking with our chair, specific things that we want to do to ensure that we bring this relationship together. So I'm not going to speak for him, but I want to say from my experience, so that's been years. So I think it's time that we do. And thank you for being here.
Thank you again.
Okay. Trustee Kraft.
Good evening, Mayor and staff, and welcome to our meeting. And I think that it's time that we move forward with this. I worked on that side also, so I know how important it is to youth recreation and just recreation, period. Because I come from a time where they work together.
Did you want to?
And where the schools and the community, the recreation, were working hand in hand. And I don't see where this can happen again. So I'm looking forward to, for hearing more about this and making this happen.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Trustee Hannah, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I just wanted to say good evening again, and thank you for being here. Your presence, as well as your staff, and then the comments of Commissioner Powell too, speaks volumes of the interest of really creating a sense of unity between the city and the school district. So I respect that from your leadership, and I thank you for being here, and we look forward to more conversations about it.
Of course.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay. First of all, sir, thank you so much for being here, and staff. A lot of times in this particular role, you don't get the chance to be as vocal or have your side of the story presented, and not only do I welcome the partnership, I got that marching order from the first day you took office. That was my one call that I thought that needed to be done above anything else. And I took it very seriously. Publicly, things were done where I did not want to jeopardize this day right here. Because no matter who says what in this particular community, something can always be bared or shown to be misconstrued by just lack of conversation. You allowed me for the first time in 30 years that we didn't have an MOU between the city of Pontiac and the Pontiac School District, and we did that. And that, I think it was the first 9 months. And I was, that made me excited about what we needed to do, and I'm still excited. Sharing the same love for the city as everybody else in this room does. Your presence, not just being here, but just anyone in leadership, including your staff, if there's some things that need to be talked about or discussed, the way that we are governed here is differently the way that happens over in the executive side and council side of the municipality. And I think there were some miscommunications there that didn't allow things to happen as a conversation base as we prepare. The board prepares for its board governance meetings and things of that nature. So just like you said, there's several things that we've already talked about as far as a board governance that they gave us our marching orders, couple being EA sports program. We talked about PEG funding partnerships. We talked about the sharing of ground cost. We talked about EVO charging stations. There were some things that were awarded to the district that we figured that it was not just a district thing, but it's a citywide thing. When you talk about charging stations, it's not just having them at the schools because you only have so many schools, but where did the city need to place them? We talked about WHRC being a central location for student activities because of the fact that we know coming into the district, the absorbent cost of building something brand new and what the residents were asking for. Well, you just can't pop those ideas out, and they had to happen over time. And personally knowing the work and the building that you had to do, watching it firsthand, we needed to be able to present something and to do something that was real and tangible for the community and not just say we're doing something on paper and not be able to do it. These are real tangible things that the board has discussed. These are real tangible things that you and I've shared with you. You've taken a visit. I thank you and the deputy mayor for being a part of our comprehensive strategic action plan, which we hadn't had one in 15 years. There were some things that we needed to clean up on the district side. there was a board governance that needed to happen amongst the board to have a conversation, because we can only operate as a board. Not one person can make a decision. I am the spokesperson for the board. And yes, at the time that the meeting was requested, because of the lack of information that was shared amongst other elected officials, and I was not included in the conversation just to be asked why I canceled the meeting, then yes, there was, so we can get to this point that we're at today. Not only are we going to partner, but we're going to forever have a partnership that's going to thread us together, that nobody else outside of you and I, whoever sat in these leadership positions, has ever done. We've tried to reach out to several administrations prior to you to have some of these same conversations, and the door was just shut. Again, these are real, tangible things that we have set that the board has already discussed. Thank you for being here. We're very open to them because of the fact that you're right, and I think Commissioner Powell said it, there is no you without us, and there's no us without you. We clearly get that. I clearly understand that. The Powell partnership was a partnership that kind of helped with both of our goals of making sure that we were including all of our elementary schools, because we have a philosophy here in the Pontiac School District. It's not just about us. All of these other charter schools that we get blamed for, we might as well take responsibility for them and say they're our schools too. And so they allowed us to have a partnership where it stretched amongst that through all of those elementary schools. Our board governance meetings, again, and it could be special meetings, it could be a committee with your particular staff and 3 of the committee members that we still have on our side to work through these things so we can get them done very much sooner than very much later, if that makes sense. It is a very real thing. It's a very tangible thing. And again, your presence being here, as they always stated, is very much appreciated. You're the only sitting mayor that's been here in I've been in this district 23 years, 25 years. So thank you. And I know this won't be a last, but I needed to share that space. And
Well,
thank you for allowing me to do so.
Forgive me. I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to be here. I really appreciate and value the dialogue, the relationship, the friendship. I want to make sure that we build on that to really work together in a way that maximizes the benefit for kids in the district, kids in the community, and really all of our residents here in the city of Pontiac.
Yes, sir. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir.
Yeah.
And we'll be in touch very, very soon. In that presentation, I mean, you tell me what you want me to do.
Well, why don't we get a photo of me
Okay, thank you.
handing this to you, maybe in front of the board, whatever you
Come on, boy, I
decide in that
appreciate
regard.
it.
You know what? Hey, Torrance.
Slide over, you want to get a picture?
I used to live there. You know, Terrence Craft. I don't know what Terrence Craft is. My nephew, Christian Craft, plays basketball. He coaches there now. My brother's JV coach. Who's your brother? Only Terrence I know is my twin brother, Terrence.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, my twin brother's name is Terrence and Torrance.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
My son is Torrance.
So I lived in Kentwood from 2009 to 2016. Thank you. He looks familiar to me. Yeah. He looks very familiar. Yeah. Very familiar. We both know the inhabitants for Kentwood.
All right, we're going to move down. I'm sorry.
So we'll know Malik background.
Trustee Kraft, if we can get started again. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome to the city of Pontiac, sir.
Thank you.
And if we can recognize our past treasurer, Trustee Northcross. How you doing, sir? Thank you.
I'm one of the members of the Promise Zone.
Okay.
This is another board member of
Okay.
the Promise Zone.
All right, Mr. H. Bill Maxey. How you doing, sir? One of our proud veterans in the city of Pontiac. Thank you for being here, sir.
Mr. Maxson.
Okay. We're going to move down to the Michigan Association of School Board of Directors selection. You saw that in your board packet. So what they have asked us to do was the board to support a candidate in this particular board of directors. Now, as I sit on the board of directors for the Michigan Association of School Boards, I can have a vote. Wow. So if there's not a motion, or I would entertain a motion, first of all, for those, if it was 3 candidates. If there's a motion on the floor for one specific candidate, we could take that motion and then move forward. And then we can go from there. Or I could read off the names one by one, and then you can tell me which one you like, and we can go from there. So I'll entertain first if there's a motion for a specific candidate. Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion for Miss Melody Hines.
Okay. Any support for that?
Support.
Support. Okay. So Melanie Hines is a motion of support to support her in the, or okay,
Support her in for the vote.
for the vote. Okay. Ms. Hines. Okay. It's been a while since he's been the secretary. Hold on, I'm sorry.
What's her name? I read your list on there.
Ms. Hines.
Hines.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I remember. Okay, I'm ready for the vote.
Call for the vote. Every time y'all got to vote, y'all get to look at. Oh.
You can't vote.
Oh, yes, I can. I can vote. I just said I can vote.
Go for it.
I'm not sitting on the board of directors meeting for the Michigan Association of School Boards.
Yes, I remember.
Okay, I don't. So, okay, fine. Like, why do we get so uptight when it comes down to voting for people? She's not my choice. Sorry. I'm not. Go ahead. Sorry. It's a board meeting, like an open board meeting. So the dialogue has to happen in an open board meeting. You never have to worry about what I'm saying or what I'm thinking. So, I'm sorry. But go ahead. Roll call, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's been a while, man. It's been a while. I'm voting yes. Treasurer, I'm sorry, Secretary Hannah?
No.
Treasurer Terry?
No.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Kraft? I'm not looking over there. Trustee Kraft?
I'm not voting. I abstain from voting.
You can't abstain.
You can't abstain.
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith?
No.
And President Gary?
No.
Okay, that failed.
All right, thank you. So we're going to move to the next. Is there another motion on the floor? You hit me with the Trustee Kraft. You did the whole thing. Is that a?
Yes,
you want
it
to
is.
speak or something?
I do.
Because he's the only person I know that does this. And I kind of know it. You know what I mean? Like, so, Trustee Hannah, go ahead.
Yes, I want to make a motion to vote for Bridget. And her last name?
McQuiston.
Yes, that's her.
Okay.
Trustee Hannah, move.
There's a motion on the floor to move to vote for Bridget.
So, support.
McQuiston.
McQuiston. Okay.
Yes, McQuiston.
From Lake Orion. Yep.
She supported.
Oh, and it was supported. I'm sorry, supported by Trustee Davis Smith. So the motion was moved by Trustee Hannah. It was supported by Trustee Davis Smith. Questions, comments, or concerns to the motion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Secretary Hannah?
Yes.
Treasurer Terry?
Yes.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Kraft?
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith?
Yes.
President Gary?
Yes.
Gross. Y'all hurt my feelings. Yes. Miss McQuiston passed.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, ma'am. Miss Wright, do we need to? All right, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Board, thank you so much for doing that in the open meeting. Didn't that feel good?
Yeah, it was different, but it was all right.
Man, y'all so scared to go outside right now. Y'all don't know what to do with y'all. But all of the candidates, let's just say, like, so they're sitting on the Michigan Association of School Board of Directors. That's our region 8. And so there's 9 different regions that make up the board of directors. And so let's just understand how important this really is. And even though 3 people from various school districts put their hat in to run, next year, as I ascend to the National School Board of Directors in another position, someone is going to have to take that last year. And so what we've been training for is to move our board members from a local to a state to a national level. They've earned it. They operate in it. I believe in these trustees. They go and get resources and funding and programs that we need. We have an awesome team that comes back to hold it together. You do what you need to do with it. And so I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if that is a bust that I just threw at you or a challenge, but either or, I'm not going to be the only one sitting on representing us on a state level or a national level. One of y'all going to have to do that too, or 3 of y'all. It's three of y'all, and just need to make up your mind which one it's going to be very, very soon. Thank you. Yeah, I sure did. We're going to move down to Neola policies. Heal up. Neola policies, special updates.
Go the bus.
Attorney Seeger, that was a bus, wasn't it? It was an electric bus.
What was electric bus?
They hit the same.
Yeah, so they hit the same. Electric bus is quieter. Go ahead, Attorney Seeger, I'm sorry.
Okay. We're presenting some updates to the Neola policies. This is the first reading tonight. So the district has received the latest Neola special policy updates. They were received in December of 2023, just before the holiday recess. These updates reflect changes in the law and changes in recommendations by Neola. The effective policies are reflected on the attached spreadsheet. District administration has reviewed these proposed updates. Following a review of the updates, administration is recommending that the updates as listed below be adopted by the Board of Education with the noted modification and option selections, which are very few, as presented to the Board of Education in final form today. It is a recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the following special policy updates from Neola, numbers 0122, 1420, 3120, 3130, 3131, 3132, 3139, 3140, 3142, and 3220. And that's it for the first reading.
All right, board, you received this in your packet. I do not want to go over each and every last one of these policies that you read. I hadn't received any questions about the particular policy, so my assumption is that you have a clear understanding around the first reading, but I will ask just for a cleanup sake, do you have any questions around any one of the policies? Okay, thank you. We will consider this as the first reading. The second reading, we will put these on our regular board governance meeting schedule for the second reading. That way we would do what needs to be done on behalf of our school district and on behalf of what the legislation is asking us to do legally as it relates to our policies. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. There are 2 resolutions. I'm going to turn the meeting over to the vice president at this time. One resolution is honoring Margaret Caldwell. Mr. VP, you have the meeting, sir.
Thank you, sir. A resolution honoring the life of Margaret Caldwell. And Ms. Caldwell was recently recognized by this board as a, it's on, recognized as a employee, I think, of the month for when she worked at one of our kitchens.
Yeah.
And she was just here in December.
Yeah.
God bless. School District of the City of Pontiac Board of Education resolution honoring the life of Margaret Caldwell. Whereas the School District of the City of Pontiac has been privileged to employ thousands of individuals in this district over the decades who have left an incredible impression on our students and community. Whereas Margaret Caldwell was employed by Pontiac School District for 5 years as a food service worker. Whereas she began her career with the district as food service helper in 2019 and became a cook in August of 2022. Whereas she eventually became the food service lead at Whitman Elementary School. Whereas throughout her time here, she was a valued member of the Whitman Elementary School family. Whereas she passed away on January 30th, year 2024. Resolved, the Board of Education for the School District of the City of Pontiac hereby celebrates the life and career of Margaret Caldwell and mourns her passing, which is a profound loss for our Pontiac School District community, and further resolve that we extend our deepest sympathies to her family, friends, colleagues, and neighbors. And further resolve, the Board of Education expresses our deepest gratitude for her years of service to our community and to the many people whose lives she enriched. Sincerely, this entire board, adopted on this date, February 5th, year 2024.
Whew. Man,
It's a tough one. She was a good family friend.
any comments from the board? Trustee Hannah.
Yeah, this one definitely hits home. Ms. Caldwell was a neighbor. Her daughters and I grew up together. We lived down the street from each other. And once I became a board member, she couldn't wait to tell me how elated she was to have me as part of the school board. But more importantly, she couldn't wait to tell me how much she enjoyed doing what she did over in the food service. So when they say give flowers to people while they're still here, that takes on a whole different meaning because she was so proud of the work that she did. And as VP Gross mentioned, when they were just here in December, her leadership team acknowledged her and several other members of her staff, celebrating her for what she did. And that meant so much to her. So when her family shared with me the sickness and that she had passed, it was just unbelievable because we had just seen her here. And to know how happy she was with just being acknowledged for the simple work that she did over there meant so much to her. So I'm happy that we were able to do that for her. And I'm just saddened for her family, but I'm just thankful that the district is able to give this honor to her and her family in her absence. So thank you.
Well, okay. Any other board member? Okay, Trustee Gross.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful family friend.
Oh, I'm just saying, do you have any comments on this?
We go back a lot of years together. She was a member, we were all members of her church together, Welcome Missionary Baptist Church. And then she moved forward to another church, and her daughter and my wife are best of friends. And I was able to see Margaret. She always had a smile and a hug wherever. And she made sure that I acknowledged her wherever she was. And that was okay for me because what a wonderful lady who will truly be missed. And you want to talk about a wonderful spirit she had. But I thank God that he leaves everlasting memories with us. And that whenever I want to go back to my memory banks to remember, I thank God that she passed my way and I can have those memories and keep them. And I appreciate this, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you can read. I'll say my comments for after this last resolution. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, sir. Honoring the life of Latina Arlene Roberts. Whereas the school district of the city of Pontiac has been privileged to have numerous individuals serve our district in many capacities over the decades who have left an incredible impression on students, colleagues, and the community alike. Whereas Latina Arlene Roberts served the Pontiac School District, its student and staff, and community as a member of the Pontiac Board of Education. Whereas during her tenure as a board member, she also served for 2 years as the board president. Whereas she passed away on January 28th, 2024. Resolved, the Board of Education for the School District of the City of Pontiac hereby celebrates the life and career of President Latina Arlene Roberts and mourns her passing, which is a profound loss for our Pontiac School District community, and further resolve that we extend our deepest sympathies to her family, friends, colleagues, and neighbors. And further resolve, the Board of Education expresses our deepest gratitude for her years of service to our community and to the thousands of people whose lives she enriched. Adopted on this day by the entire board, February 5th, the year 2024.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
And
sir.
thank you for reading that. Any comments from the board at this time?
Just one, if I may.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. I had the opportunity to serve as the vice president for Ms. Roberts during her time that we were here together. From 2005 through 2007 when I retired on the board at that time. And I spoke with her when she found out, probably decided in 2020, and me and my colleague here, and to come back on the board. I think she called me about a year later. And we talked for about an hour. And she talked about, Kevin, I am so glad that you're coming back to the board. They need you on that board from your knowledge and experience. And she says, Kevin, she says, I'm considering the comeback. And I said, hey, I'll be right here waiting for you. And then when I received the message that she had passed on, and again, the thoughts and memories that I have during our time and after. And I appreciate that opportunity for us to be able to meet in passing and remember what we've done together and what we tried to do. And I thank God for that. And so to her family, her son, Jason, only son, and I know it's tough for him, but what a wonderful young man who had a wonderful basketball career at Pontiac Central High School. And I wanted to let him know that me and my family continue to pray for him and his, and I'm sure I can say that this entire board and Pontiac School District community is also. But she will be missed, and I thank God for her time here. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Time is not yours. You do not have the time you think you have. We say a lot of things at this board, and I would like to say with this board, we're very open and transparent about what we want to do and very intentional. And serve and opening a meeting and celebration, we're very that's just what we need to do. I'm so glad y'all decided to do that. I am so glad y'all decided to do that because Ms. Caldwell was so happy that day, right? She was like I got recognized for my work, right? And I always say this in my senior community, their shoulders are very wide, and that's the shoulders we're standing on. It's not that H. Bill Maxey is a veteran and he been over here 30 years. He had my board meeting, you know what I mean? Like, that means something, you know what I'm saying? And I know in a world where that respect is not always given. But it will forever be given in this room. And it will be given through leadership such as ours. Because we still got years to go if God allows it. But whatever you're doing on behalf of students, whatever you're doing in this particular district, don't do it with a malice heart. Don't do it if you're frustrated. Don't do it if you're feeling like there's some things that has to happen or you have to have a question about what you're doing. Just simply ask the question about why. Simply ask. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your life. And as we're moving forward, I just really wanted to take this time because Latina Roberts, she didn't mix her words about what she was thinking. And Latina Roberts was the type of president that she has no problem with stopping a meeting and pulling you aside. And her son was one of our students over at Central. When you have that type of connection with people, I don't take that for granted. This is not just a seat for me. And I wanted to explain, I hope I got that through when we explained it to the mayor. No, we won't just fold under any kind of pressure or have conversations that we don't want to have. It's the school district. No, we won't partner with everybody who just comes up that wants to just say, hey, we have a right to do. You got a lot of rights, and we got a lot of rights too. But you can't force yourself to keep doing things that in this life you don't have time to figure out if you're going to be here or not. You don't get that choice. We didn't get the choice when we were born, and we definitely is not going to get the choice when he decided to take us up out of here. So just as we're reading these resolutions, as we're moving forward, if you want clarity, ask. And you may not get the answer you're looking for. Because Latina didn't care about it. She didn't care if how things were going to be presented or come across. And I'm grateful to have seen it. I'm grateful for the confrontations we've had where we didn't agree eye to eye. And she'll be like, you gonna get yourself together? And I'll be like, I'm only 24. What do you mean? What you talking about? You know? But teaching us to do so. Ms. Caldwell, thank you so much for servicing our babies in such an exceptional way that they have a memory of you. And thank you for coming to accept that reward to her family and both these families. And Jason, please accept our condolences. This is home, and whatever you need from us, please make sure that you reach out to us, and we'll be checking on you. The vice president will be there Saturday. I'll be trying to join him, some of the board members. We're going to celebrate the people, and you celebrate them by doing what they want you to do in the first place, and that's serve. And so as long as you got breath in your body, and if that's what you're called to do, please do so. But please don't do it begrudgingly, because you don't know when you don't know what you don't know. And leaving here is not your option. Neither is your choice. So thank you for that point of privilege. We're going to move down to financial items, monthly financial report.
Action items.
Yeah, action items.
Action items.
Action items. Okay.
MASB and resolutions.
Can I get a motion on the floor to combine action items A, B, and C?
So moved. Support.
So moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee Terry for the combination of action items A, B, and C. Roll call.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes, and Secretary Hannah.
Yes.
Sir, to combine action items pass 7-0.
Thank you. Can I get a support for approving the combined action items?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Garrett, supported by Trustee Davis Smith. Questions, comments, or concerns about the approval? Roll call.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Secretary Hannah,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Sir, that passed 7-0.
All right, thank you. Thank you for helping me with that,
Yes, sir.
Vice President. Going to move down to the financial report. We had our first reading for our budget amendment. You had an opportunity to go over it. You had an opportunity to go over the report itself. Mr. Pete is here to answer any questions, or if there are any other highlights that you would like to highlight at this time, you can do so, sir. But any questions from the board or administration at this particular time about that first budget amendment? Okay. We already had the report. It's the same report. We just brought it back up here for report and approval. I can hear what you're saying. Oh, so you want to talk about the monthly financial report? Oh, okay. The treasurer would like you to go over the monthly financial report. Okay.
It's on there. I'm sorry. I should have. Yes.
What's wrong?
No, the monthly.
Why y'all acting so nervous? Is y'all okay?
The monthly financial report is here. Then the discussion items come follow with the budget amendments.
Okay. So monthly financial report. Okay. All right. Y'all making me nervous, man.
No, that's the treasurer. He ain't speak up.
I know the treasurer didn't do what he was supposed to do. No, go ahead. Mrs. Terry, don't look at me like that. I had nothing to do with what he got going on. Mr. Pete, your monthly financial report, please.
Okay, here we have our monthly financial report for December. This is the cash flow for the general fund. So our beginning cash investments at the top, 47.6 million. Ending cash investments at 35.8 million. So about a $12 million decrease. The main reason for that, if you look in the payroll row, that's 10.3 million versus our usual 2.7 million. That's because of that $7.2 million retention bonus that we paid in December. We also had PA18 payment from Oakland County and some state aid, but that one-time retention bonus was the biggest factor for the month. So, but overall, a healthy cash position of $35.8 million. Then we have our historic cash flow chart with and without the tax anticipation note, which was $8.5 million this year and $11 million the previous year. If you look at the charts here, the top and the bottom, the purple bar is the current year, and that's higher than all the preceding years, which is good, which means our cash flow is better now than it was the preceding 3 years. Great news. Basically, we're going to try to do is continue to wean ourselves off the TAN, as we've talked about before. That way we reduce interest expense, attorney fees, eliminate that general fund debt. The only negative to that is when you pay it down, you do reduce your fund balance. But, we do have a little bit of a cushion here, so hopefully we can do that starting next year. Then we have our general fund revenue pie charts. The pie chart on the left is fiscal year to date, July through December. The pie chart on the right is December only. In terms of revenue, so the red portion there is your state aid, which normally you'll get this time of the year in bigger numbers. The purple shade is the payment from Oakland Schools. I just talked about the Public Act 18 special ed payment they received. 16% in green is some grant revenues. For year to date, in terms of revenues, it's still going to be mostly property taxes at 58% there in blue. The 14% in orange, if you recall, is that $9.1 million electric bus proceeds that we received, one-time money. But everything else in terms of composition of general fund revenue is reasonable for this time of the year. General fund expenditures, so the pie chart on the right is December 2023 only. The pie chart on the left is fiscal year to date. Again, the unusual piece there, the purple at 51%. Other is that retention bonus of $7.2 million. That kind of skews everything. Instruction costs obviously are going to be your next biggest, which is your teacher salary benefits, classroom supplies, purchase services. On the left, for year to date, your biggest expenditure is going to be instruction, as I just mentioned, 30%. Then the purple is the retention bonus. And then in orange, at 20%, we have the $8.5 million tax anticipation note payments that we made earlier in the year. But otherwise, looking reasonable in terms of general fund expenditures and the breakdown, the percentages, and so forth. Now we have our general fund budget to actual. So our column on the left, which is the budget was adopted in June, and you'll be voting on the amendment in a bit here. But as I mentioned before, our original adopted budget had a net surplus of $239,000. The proposed amendment is about $207,000, so not much of a variance, which is good. No, we don't want wild fluctuations going up and down. In terms of where we are compared to last year, in terms of the local revenues, we're running about the same, 87%, 89% there in row one. There is a fluctuation in other financing sources and modifications, much higher this year because that $9.1 million electric bus grant that I just mentioned to you. And then on the expenditure side, salaries running a little higher than last year because of the $7.2 million retention bonus. But otherwise, everything is pretty reasonable compared to prior year. Then we have a food service fund, which we had a significant loss last year, as I've mentioned, about $360,000. The good news again is we're running much better than that this year, probably about a plus $150,000. But as I said here, we've adopted the budget back in June, a net surplus of $30,000. We have minimal fund balance, but as of right now, we're doing better. But we're still going to monitor that with SFE and right size everything and look everything over. But at least for now, we're getting better meal participation, student counts are better, and employee attendance and performance seems to be better. So we're trending in the right direction, but we're still going to closely monitor this.
Thank you, please. Good news.
Sinking fund. So here we have our cash flow for December. Beginning cash investments, $10.1 million. Ending cash investments, about the same. Minimal activity. The only item of note here, science labs for the middle school and the high school at $63,000 in terms of expenditures. That's been consistently we focused on this year in the sinking fund, but overall a healthy cash position and no major fluctuations. Then we have our bond summary, and so we have our three buckets of revenue funding that we divided in. So the first bucket is series 1, 2, and 3, the actual bond issuance, $147 million. As we mentioned, we still have to issue series 3, which is about $18 million. The second bucket is your sinking fund, which we're planning on contributing $11.5 million to the bond fund. And your third bucket is ESSERS, as we talked about before. It's about $12.5 million we're planning on transferring in. We also have in row 4 there interest income, $1.9 million. That's a nice bonus that we've had because of the higher interest rates, so we got a break on that. From a big picture standpoint, total revenues, $174 million with the three buckets. Total expenditures, $187 million with the contingencies built in, as we talked about before. So we're looking at this point, a structural deficit from a budgetary standpoint of $13.1 million, which again, we will look at right sizing with a new construction manager and making modifications and whatever's needed to get that number right sized. And lastly, their 10-year financial forecast. The plan right now is to present that in March. And the emergency purchases that do not require board approval, there were none. So that concludes my presentation.
I don't know what that was right there. I don't know what that. I think I kind of know what that was, but that was another electric bus. But any comments from the board? Okay, thank you for that particular report. We're going to move down to. We had the budget amendment again. That was stated for discussion. Any questions around that, the budget amendment? Okay, any from administration? Okay, so we've had that discussion again. We're into budgeting season. We're gonna get started a little early on than we normally. I wouldn't say that we normally do. We're kind of a little bit behind. Administration, you will be asked in our live meetings if you had any questions, because some maybe pop up. I just think it's just a better consideration at that particular point in time to have that conversation, if need be. We're going to have a finance committee meeting once we establish that on the 12th, the different various committees. Then Mr. Pete will let you know what that looks like, and we'll get moving. Ms. Wright has already put on our calendar some of the meeting dates for us to start talking about the money, because that if we don't, I'm sure we're going to pass a balanced budget. But there's some, I wouldn't necessarily say, I don't like to use the words creative and budget at the same time, but there are some things that we can do differently in the district that we can kind of steer away from in the past, so many times we've had that kind of deficit mindset in the sense that we can't spend this or you can't spend that. I'm not saying we go boatload crazy creative, but there are some things that specifically that's to our district that we want to begin to fund because we know that's work for our district. It may not work for other districts, but it works for our district. And I keep saying that because we need to do what's best for our students and the kids that show up on a regular basis. Not that we don't want to invite or have kids to come back to the district. Please do, welcome. And like we stated before, you know, you all have choices, but we definitely your best option. So we're going to move down to tax anticipation resolution. That discussion.
Okay, so this is the resolution to approve the tax anticipation note borrowing. This resolution will authorize the issuance of a tax anticipation note not to exceed $10 million. However, it is expected that the district borrow no more than $8,500,000. In addition, this resolution will provide authorization to the authorized officer of the district or his or her designee to negotiate, approve, and accept the terms of the commitment from Huntington Public Capital Corporation to fund the loan. It is a recommendation of the administration that the board approve the resolution authorizing the issuance of the TAN in an amount not to exceed $10 million as presented for the 23-24 fiscal period.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions, comments from the board? Okay. With this particular TAN, is this the first one or the second one we're doing?
I think the third. We've done it for the last few years. I think 2018 was the first year.
Okay. So I'm just meaning for just this year. This is the first TAN we've taken out for this year.
Yes.
For this school year.
Yes.
Okay.
We pay it back. We issue it in June, late June. We pay it back early in like July, August. So we minimize the interest.
Okay. And that one that we took out in June was for
$8.5 million.
Right. And
the goal would be now to do, we could, 10's the max, we could do less, we could do 7, we could do 8, we'll see where we're at in terms of our net income.
Okay. So why are we taking it out now?
No, it won't be, it authorizes us to do this in June. We're not going to be actually taking the money until June.
Okay, until June.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just kind of brought it a little early, that's all, I'm just asking.
Last year was December, that's, I'm just going by what he had before.
Okay. Okay, works, okay. Trustee Bowman, I saw your hand.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Any questions? Treasurer, you good? Okay. All right, thank you. We're going to move down to need a motion on the floor to approve the budget amendment number 1.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee Davis Smith. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Kraft?
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith?
Yes.
President Garrett?
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Secretary Hannah?
Yes.
Treasurer Terry?
Yes.
And Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Sir, that passed 7-0.
All right, thank you. Need a motion on the floor to approve the tax anticipation resolution.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Trustee Gross, supported by Trustee Terry. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Davis Smith?
Yes.
President Garrett?
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Secretary Hannah?
Yes.
Treasurer Terry?
Yes.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
And Trustee Kraft?
Yes.
Sir, that too passed 7-0.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move down to discussion and action item under general counsel. The first will be DT easement right away, and the second will be the renewal of the lease agreement for grounds.
Good evening.
Mr. Seeger. How you doing, sir?
Great.
All right.
To increase reliability and resiliency of the electricity distribution system, DTE Energy is converting system equipment for City of Pontiac to 13.2 kV. As part of the conversion program, a new transformer will be installed at the Board of Education. DTE will buy and install a new transformer for the Board of Education at the location shown on the attached easement documents in support of the area conversion to 13.2 kV. The entire City of Pontiac will be going through this voltage conversion to increase reliability. It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the DTE easement at the Board of Education Administration Building.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Any questions from the board? All okay?
Oh, they left? She's still there. Oh.
Okay. I want to take a point of privilege at this particular point in time. Kennedy Owen is here to present to the board for Board Appreciation Month, even though it happened in January, but we couldn't fit him in. I'm glad that you're here. If you want to come to do your presentation, they're going to give us that point of privilege. Thank you so much for staying for the meeting with us, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hi, Board.
How you doing, ma'am?
Here representing Owen and Kennedy. He stole my leader, so I'm working with
I was trying to,
Dr.
I was really trying, I was going to hide her for this section. I'm telling you, I was like, we stole her. Yep, she's gone. Yeah. Okay, this is going to be kind of funny. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
I like to share. But Dr. Kavanaugh and the Owen team, we put together gifts. The art on your tumblers are provided by the 1st and 3rd grade students and the adult vocational students.
Yeah, that's me.
At Kennedy and Owen. Some of you have personalized, Mr. Kraft, Miss Hannah, Miss Davis Smith. They shouted out your name.
Yeah,
But
sure did.
we have some really talented artists. Some of these are special ed students. Some of these are just 1st graders. So I was really proud of them, and I hope you enjoy.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you so.
And you got a newsletter.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
I love it. I love it.
Any comments from the board?
Wow.
Trustee Bowman.
I just want to say thank you so much. I always appreciate wonderful swag, especially with my name on it and beautiful art. So thank you for this. And now no one at home can say they didn't know it was mine. So thank you much.
All right. Trustee Kara.
I like
Thank
to
you,
say
ma'am.
thank you too. I'm loving these gifts, and I swear, I mean, this art on here, I mean, it really touches me. You know, to see my name personalized right in the little crayon up in here. So it makes me feel special. I know those are special kids. I love them too. So thank you.
Yes. Trustee Terry.
Wow.
I want to say the same. Thank you. Appreciate the gift. It's always a pleasure to receive gifts. And like I say, we don't look for them, but you guys offer them. And I just want to say thank you. We just here for the students to do what we need to do and continue to push Pontiac forward. But every gift we receive, even some of the gifts from, other locations as well, the gear is wonderful. The gear is wonderful. But thank you very much. Let the kids know we appreciate it. And, everything they did is thank you.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Davis Smith.
I just want to say thank you so much. I really love my cup and my what the kids said to me. I really appreciate it. Tell them they just won some ice cream this summer. I know they knew what they were doing. So tell them I'll be there this summer.
Thank you, ma'am. Vice President.
Thank you. I'll be back to read again. I had a ball over there, and I'm coming now. Lock and loaded. This is fantastic. Thank you. I enjoyed myself. I'm coming back. I promise.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Hannah.
Thank you. This is really special. So thank you again. Thanks a lot.
That's sweet.
So, this is really personal.
Yeah.
When you know when the kids can do something and you can take their artwork and put it on a tumbler, like it's their artwork, like it's personal. Like this is a one-on-one. Like you can't just go in the store. Anybody can go in there and make a President Gil Garrett. You can go do that. But it's like with individual one-on-one. I think to me it's like that's that touch. And that's just who we are. And so thank the kids and thank y'all so much for thinking of us during this particular point in time, during Board Appreciation Month. Like this is cool. Like I it's the personal touches from the kids that kind of press us through. A lot of we get all adult issues up here. We don't get to see the kids a lot of times, or we get into the buildings and we sneak in. By the time we get our little 3-minute break, they didn't know what to do. They didn't hit the alarm. the bells start jumping out, all the balloons start popping, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times I could say this with this particular board, you know, we try to sneak in them schools because we all got our favorite schools that we kind of sneak in to kind of, hey, check on our own students that's in the neighborhoods that we know that, you know, we can get them to act right when the teacher can't get them to act right. So we know what you deal with on a regular basis. But to the central administration staff and those who have stepped up to the call, thank you so much for doing what you do. But this is I'm geeked up. I'm sorry, I can't hide that one. I'm geeked up over this one. Okay, thank you for board for that point of privilege. If we're going to move down to the renewal of lease management, Mr. Seegers.
This is the renewal of the lease agreement at the Fell Center with the Professional Ground Services Company. Professional Ground Services has been providing ground services to the Pontiac School District since 2018. PGS entered into a lease agreement for rental space at the Fell Center located at 650 North Saginaw Street in Pontiac in January of 2019. This rental space included space inside the Fell Center along with land space at 650 North Saginaw. The property is used by PGS for purposes of storing, dispatching, and maintaining its vehicles, machines, and equipment, for storing road salt, for ice and snow removal purposes, maintaining above-ground fuel storage tanks in a confined area of the property, or for any other lawful purpose as approved in writing by the district. Monthly rent of the property designated for PGS's use shall be $4,909.91 for year one, an increase of 8% over the current rate, and a 3% increase each following year. It is a recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the renewal of the lease agreement of space at the Fell Center to Professional Ground Services, LLC, in the amounts designated above.
Okay. Thank you. Board, any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. But actually, both easements are the easement and this particular renewal, it's not something that we're locked in. Thank you again for litigating that. For the most part, we got a lot of great things that's happening, that's on the way. So just kind of grateful to have this opportunity to do so. Any motion on the floor to approve the DTE easement? Moved by Trustee David Smith, supported by Trustee Bowman. Questions, comments, or concerns to the DTE easement? I ain't used to saying DTE without cutting them a check, man. This is amazing. Roll call, please.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Secretary Hannah.
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
And Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
Sir, that action item passed 7-0.
All right, thank you. Can we get a motion on the floor to approve the renewal lease agreement for ground services?
So, support.
Moved by Trustee Terry, supported by Trustee Bowman. Questions, comments, or concerns to the motion? Hearing none, roll call.
I'm voting yes. Secretary Hannah.
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
And President Garrett.
Yes.
Sir, the renewal passed 7-0.
All right, awesome. Thank you. We'll move down to operations and maintenance item. First, I want to take a point of privilege to offer up our prayers and support for our interim facilities director, Marvin Beasley, who's recently lost his daughter in a car accident. Our prayers go out to him and his family and our support. If you know him, if you can shoot him an email just with a happy face, anything to encourage him during this particular point in time. I will not pretend to even think I remotely know how he feels to lose a child. But I do know how it feels when somebody supports you and they call you family and brother when everything is going good, and when you need them the most, it even kind of feels a little bit more better when they can hear from you. And thank you to already the folks who've already stepped up to make sure that things are being handled in a very, very professional manner. We'll also, so thank you for that, for that point of privilege. We're going to move down to, again, discussion item for potential change order for WHRC doors and window project. We do have Mr. Holcomb, who's going to be here, Mr. Stoner, Mr. Allen, who's our new interim facilities manager. He is here as well. Mr. Holcomb, we turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President,
Mm-hmm.
Madam Superintendent, trustees. Excuse me. The potential change order is being requested to add glass windows to the WHRC interior doors. During post-bid review, it was discussed with the AOC team that there were some security concerns by not having windows in the interior doors at WHRC. As such, we've asked the vendor what it would cost to add windows to the doors. It is the board, if the board would like to proceed with this change order, excuse me, I can't read tonight. We need to get the approval as soon as possible, so not to limit the window that we have this summer to hold that timeline up. The funding will be through ESSER funds. So it is the recommendation of the administration that the Pontiac Board of Education approve the change order for K&M Construction to install glass on the interior doors at WHRC at a cost not to exceed $52,270. You have all the attachments there.
Okay. Any questions from the board at this time?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
I see Diane is here. If anything I remember is Ms. Perez saying that as long as we can get these projects done before September 30th, we can utilize ESSER. We're for certain that this could happen with the changeover.
That's the intent, yes.
That's a sneaky answer. Okay, all right. That's why I wanted to make sure we were good, because I knew that we had discussed that, and this is something new.
Yes.
All right, as long as we can get that done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other questions? You ain't right. So, Mr. Stoner, is there anything that you want to add to that? Mr. Allen, is there anything that you need to add to that? Is that I'm taking it as a no? Okay.
No, I think I just want to reassure you that we've done everything we can to move that project to expedite it. We've met with the new construction manager already. We are meeting tomorrow with the vendors themselves. With your approval tonight, we'll tell the vendors to move ahead with this change. And again, we have told all the vendors of the date that is required to complete this project.
Okay. All right, thank you. I truly, thank you so much for that. So I had a chance to get a little bit more background check around this particular project. And it was over at WHRC where when they originally did IDS did the order, there were no, for what they were, the interior doors, there were no windows in those doors. They remember the old yellow doors. And so they just did it to scale. And so because of security reasons, because of just the newness of where we're moving, the openness, we want to put glass in the doors. And I couldn't figure out, like, why did we have to go through this change order? And you should just, it's automatic, right? You put glass in doors. That's just what happens. But that's not what happened over at WHRC. And when they did their first initial mock-up, they just kind of repeated to put new ones in, and then it kind of came. And so the change order is on us. That's probably the first and last time you ever hear me say something like that. And then it's on us on the board, because we are going back to the drawing board to reestablish what is a priority and not a priority as it relates to these bond projects and moving forward, so that this board is clearly that we know exactly what we're asking, and then we can communicate to the team exactly what we're asking them to do. And so this is probably going to be that last time I'm, bringing that whole piece back. But it is something that I do believe truly I support that needs to be done. Now, as far as the ESSER funding of it is we do need to have a conversation early on about how much ESSER dollars do we have left to spend by this amount of time, because I'm sure, because everybody came up to that podium in the last 30 days and said ESSER dollars, and we ain't had that much left. We had some left. We ain't had that much left. I could just buy it. So, and something to go with projects here and things of that nature. So we're going to have to take a look at that and figure out what that looks like. And Dr. Leverett, we've already talked about how in HR, and we'll talk about it in board governance, what we want the new organizational chart to look like when we start talking about people and things of that nature. So, Treasurer Terry, you're going to have your hands full Better you than me, sir. Thank you. So need a motion on the floor to accept the approval of the potential change order.
So moved.
Support. Moved by trustee David Smith, supported by trustee Gross. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Secretary Hannah,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Trustee David Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett,
Yes.
and I'm voting yes, sir. That passed 7-0.
All right, thank you. Thank y'all so much. We're gonna move down to communications, petitions, and delegations. Vice President.
Thank you, sir. We have one for this evening,
Okay.
and I want to make sure I pronounce this name right. It's Shauna Boomgard. Did I say that right?
Yes.
All right.
Welcome, ma'am.
From OU Peace. Welcome to our meeting, Ms. Boomgard.
All right, I know we literally have 3 minutes, so I'm going
Yes,
to be
ma'am.
very
Mhm.
respectful of your time.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir President and Madam Superintendent Extraordinaire. Thank you for taking on that lead. I want to thank you all for having us. The reason why we are here is because, as many of you all know, we have been involved with the Pontiac High School, and we have a group. Oh, look, they got the timer up there. Oh, boy. Thank you. All right. So we have been working with a group of young men and women at the high school, ranging in ages from 9th grade through 12th, that are being trained to be Michigan Ace Community Champions. They are our youth. And that's all I got left. Okay. So we've been invited by Harvard University again to present at the Alumni of Color Conference. It is February 29th through March 3rd, and we are asking if we might be able to take these students with us. And we have the support of OU as well. So we are hoping and praying that you guys approve of it eventually. So did I forget anything?
She's making a hard ask.
Yeah, I am.
We have young people who have been invited back. These are our Pontiac students who continue to do the hard work in understanding adverse childhood experiences. And these young people have presented another conversation with these people at Harvard who want to see our work continue from last year. And so I don't know if you remember last year, we took our young people, we recorded them, they went to town. There was not a dry eye in the room. They're asking our babies to come back. And OU is put up the first amount, half of the money for the kids to go. And so we're appreciative of the dean for doing that. And we just ask that the school board give them permission to return back to Harvard to also have the experience that our kids had last year. And so I'm making a hard ask.
Oh, you making something. Oh, you
So
making something.
We currently have 10, and we're hoping that at least 8 of them will be able to join us on this adventure. So we're hoping. That's a hard ask, we know, but we'd really love it. We will also be needing 2 chaperones from the school district because we do not work for the school district. We work with OUP. So that is something that we will also need to be requesting. So. Yeah.
Okay.
But we're preaching resilience and ACEs, so we're hoping that we get our kids to come. Questions for me?
No, it's only the part that you get to talk. There's no questions.
Thank
You got 37 seconds left.
Thank you.
Okay,
We have
no
30
problem.
seconds. That's
No, that's
it.
it.
It's just
Yeah.
a hard ask. If you have any questions, we appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
But
Okay.
thank you for your
All right.
time.
Thank you.
We did it.
Okay.
And I did it in less than.
Man, if I ain't never seen an alley-oop set up in my life, right? So typically what happens, just for a point of clarity, so that will go to Dr. Leverett. You guys will make a decision to see if that is something that's possibly that we can do. We're not going to make any promises. OU should be paying for full support. Thank you, OU, for your full cooperation for the OU Peace initiative that you've always collaborated with the Pontiac School District for, and all the funding that you receive from our wonderful MLK students who come there. I'm sure you can fully support this, but if you cannot, we will be a partner and kind of look at what we can do. Thank you so much. And we'll look at that as them as a full support for this, but we'll turn that over to Dr. Leverett if we can fully support it, because it's the OU Peace promise that is promised to our kids as we ship them on up there through the summer and ship them through the nursing program and ship them on up to, what is the other one? Upper Bound, and there's a couple other programs that we navigate students through OU, Oakland University. So thank you so much, OU Peace. And I'm surely that you can come up with the full amount to make sure that these students can attend this wonderful Harvard program to increase our wonderful partnership. Thank you so much, Dr. Leverett. If you would ever need any question from us, please let us know. Okay?
Thank you. I'll be following up
Thank you.
ASAP. The window is closing.
Okay. But I'm sure OU can. Dr. O and them over there can kind of, Mr. Glenn McIntosh, I'm sure they can just, Dr. Teresa Rogers, Mrs. Teresa Rogers, she was here and she's a fully supporter of OU Peace. And so thank her so much for being here and all the wonderful people. So, and the Pontiac Promise, I'm sure it's something that it can do as tight as our budget is right now that they can kind of fully fund this. So we're going to move down to comments from the board. Thank you so much, Trustee Terry. I'm sorry, Trustee Kraft. He made me do it. I'm telling you. Trustee Terry, go ahead. No, I'm sorry, Trustee Kraft.
You know I'll go first, Terry. All right. First, I'd like to say what a wonderful meeting we had. And I also like to say thanks and congratulations to our awardees today, the Polk, Adam Polk Jr., and then the basketball team that came in here, our undefeated basketball team. Congratulations out to them too. And I'd like to thank the Mayor Grimer, for coming here and starting conversation for the potential collaboration with the school district. I think that'd be a wonderful thing for our city. And I also like to thank everyone for the gifts and everything. Again, with this cup right here and stuff is just amazing. And since I've been on the board since last year, I've gotten so many gifts. My house is just filled with everything Pontiac School District. I mean, my house is purple. You might think I'm Prince. So
that's the goal.
So I'm loving it. And also, Miss Coco, you know you was putting this shirt over here. I don't wear no large. I'm a little bit bigger than that now. So if you have anything that's a little bit larger, like an extra large and stuff, hopefully I can get that. And last but not least, I like to give my condolences to the two individuals that work for our school district, and one board member, and the other ones are working in the cafeteria. I like to send condolences out to their families through tough times. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of people, and especially Marvin. You know, we know him personally and everything, and I know how hard that. I really can't imagine really what he's going through right now, and I wouldn't want to be in his position at this moment and stuff. So I like to send my prayers out to everyone, because it's a lot of people that's leaving us right now, and we just got to be grateful for the times that we have with each other. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Bowman. How you doing, ma'am?
Hello. This was a wonderful meeting, and I again would like to express my condolences to those who have lost loved ones. It's been a great loss at the beginning of 2024 with several families within the community of Pontiac experienced loss of loved ones. So I definitely want to send a condolence, and I hope that we as a community can continue to work together and be mindful of one another, because we never know what someone is going through. I hope that we, Pontiac, as a family, can continue to thrive and grow. I'm grateful to be a part of this board and to serve my community in the way that I do. I'm just, I'm grateful to be in the place that I'm in. And if anybody needs any support in any kind of way, please feel free to reach out. Someone is always there to listen. I hope that everyone here has a wonderful evening. I made a whole minute. So I hope that everybody has a wonderful evening and great meeting. Good night.
Okay, I like that. Okay, all right. Trustee Shaquana Davis-Smith. Hey, ma'am.
Hey, good evening, everyone. So this was a great meeting. I really enjoyed, especially the beginning of the meeting, to see all our students. I wanted to also thank Kennedy Owen again for my special gift that like really warmed my heart for real. Like that was very special. And also Promazone, Miss Coco, thanks for the great presentation and thanks for our swag so people know we represent y'all and they can ask us, hey, what's the Promazone? But congratulations to Adam Pope Jr. on his 100 career win, as well as the wrestling team and Coach Polk. Also, congratulations to our basketball team on their undefeated season. I wanted to thank Coach Hall again for his dedication to making sure that the boys are successful on the court as well as in the classroom. That is what's most important. Also, Dr. Powell on her laundry program and all the other community partners she brings to Walt Whitman so her students and parents can be successful and supported. But we have so many teachers, staff members, I know some bus drivers. Our district is like a family. Like we say, we're a family, and they come together in many ways that our community don't know that they're doing. Miss Katisha don't like to be known. Her over there at Peace. I love going to visit her classroom. She teaches our babies Spanish and everything else, and they're being little bitty productive little people. And she's always hidden in the background. I go visit Miss Carruth, and she actually teaches the students where they are and make them. She teach them how they want to be taught, and it works. And I enjoy visiting her classroom. It's always nice, and we be hyped in there, but but it's a learning atmosphere, and I enjoy that. So I just want our parents to know that this district is a family, and we really need those parents to come in as well to make sure that they're part of their kids' education. We need them to be, like a lot of times being in the community, I hear we're not doing our part, but we're doing our part. Our teachers are more than just teaching our children. They're nurses, doctors, social workers, and before they can even teach, they're doing other things to coddle our kids, and not, I don't want to say coddle, but to support our students. And so we need the parents to back them up at home with homework and just reading time with our younger children and things like that. And if y'all need help to read or to learn the math that they're doing, we'll support you on that as well. So I just want you guys to know that I am excited about our district, and we have a lot of great things going on in the district. And instead of y'all being on Facebook with the negative things or coming to my bakery with negativity, just ask the question or come to a board meeting where you will learn what our school is all about. We are a family. We need your support. So please come out and support. And we are there to support you in any way. So thank you. Have a great night, everyone.
Oh, listen. Y'all gonna be in trouble in the upcoming months. I hope y'all paying attention. Mr. Treasurer down there, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
The money way? Everything good?
So far, so good.
Okay, all right, let's go.
Good evening, everybody. I'm not gonna repeat everything that was said. They pretty much captured everything. So good meeting as well. Congratulations to everybody. And then condolences to those that have lost loved ones. And let's continue to keep Pontiac in prayer. Let's keep the district in prayer. And also our, I guess you want to call it, officials and the ones that are in those positions making calls and changes that affect everybody in this community and the world. So I'm gonna keep it short, but good meeting. Thank you everybody for the reports as well. Always good to see everybody and know that everybody's doing well. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Secretary.
Yes.
Nisha, Hannah, How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Glad that you can sneak in here and join us. I'm sorry I said that out loud. My bad. Okay.
I needed to get out. Excellent meeting. I'm not going to repeat what everybody said either, but one thing that I hope people, the community is noticing is that the culture of the Pontiac School District is changing, not just in sports, but in academics as well. So again, like my trustee said, parents, families, we need your support to continue to move our district in the right direction, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Trustee Vice President Gross.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, all.
Good evening, sir.
And I don't want to repeat everything that was said, but do a couple of things that I want to talk about within the next 4 minutes. First of all, I love it when I see those individuals who are Pontiac bred, Pontiac owned, who have come back, Ms. Coco and Mr. Hall and Mr. Polk and everyone who have made the choice to bring their talents to Pontiac, back to Pontiac. My mother told me, rest her soul, many years ago, and I said, and I'm leaving, I'm moving. And she says to me, and I had to think about it. She says, why are you moving? When Pontiac has given so much to you, now it's time for you to give back to them. So that made a decision for me to run for the school board. And I've been part of it ever since. And that made sense to me. So that I appreciate. And I want to commend this board and this administration because of what we're doing for our children. I try to avoid all the negative discussions and talk, but that only comes from those who aren't actually watching what we're doing. We have made it available because of social media. It's out there. It's televised. You can even go back and, like the president does, go back and rewatch these meetings over and over and over.
That's the third bus tonight.
So he studies our every moves. And he comes back and he tells us, well, you guys said this in the last meeting. I don't remember that, but he watches them. But you can do the same. So when you make comments that, new programs are coming in and I want to thank so-and-so for the new programs, but you have a board trustee, vice president, that's right there with you and you never ask the question, what's going on? So that's some of my concerns. Now, one of the things that we do, we realize and understand how important academics are, right? But as a board, outside of the academics, because we do things to improve our academics, but we also do things that we improve to ensure that our students are coming to school, having fun, to get involved in academics. We have redone our basketball courts, and people say, oh, that's just basketball. No, sports are important. You heard how every one of those boys are doing well academically. Why? Because if you don't, you can't play. So we improve the conditions of our athletic buildings and programs. We have improved the conditions of our buildings. We say buildings don't teach kids, but you know what? When a child sees something that's new and they say, that's mine, right? It gives them a different spirit, a different feeling. Yeah, I had the opportunity to meet with a coach that I know out of Lake Orion when I was at the middle school game. And he said, Mr. Gross, he said, I really have to commend you guys because you have two of the most beautiful gyms that I've seen in Oakland County, maybe in the state of Michigan. And my response to him was, what I said to him was, I agree. And only because our kids deserve it. So all the wonderful uniforms, when this board made the decision to give an extra $25,000 to ensure that our kids look good. And I went over to the high school game and saw them playing. And I said, would you look at this? So these are the choices that this board is making. I'm aware how important academics are. And we have brought in programs special need programs, special services to ensure that every child is not left behind. But we are also making these decisions to ensure that we're providing a well-rounded, fun educational experience for our children. And that's important. And I mean what I say when I tell other schools, don't touch our babies. And the reason why they go to other schools, because their conditions look different. So now we're improving ours. So as we improve our conditions, kids will say, I'm not going over to Clarkson because my school building is new and it looks better. Or my field is new and it looks better. These are the things that this board is foreseeing. We're not looking at the now, we're looking at the later. So remember that, how important it is. That's important too. So let's keep doing what we're doing. So it matters not. My board president, this guy, I think we speak, 2-3 times a day? And I'm learning he's telling me, man, don't take it so personal. Let's keep moving forward because it's about the babies. So man, I got my shield guard up too. And I understand. And I know and I believe. Ms. Wright, I apologize for going over, but I thank each and every one of you for listening. God bless and enjoy this night. My cousin is tired, so you got to go home. And I appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
No problem. I mean, I really truly understand your passion, and things need to be said repeatedly about what we're doing. The mindset has changed. The culture has changed. We are improving. We have improved. We are dominating. We do have control. The respect is there. We do educate our kids when they come to our doorstep, despite what they face. We do take the 6.5 hours that we get in front of them and pour into them and expose them to the best educational, I would say, opportunity and process that they can face now as they're moving forward. When you see things that's happening throughout the district, it's because you have a choice and you choose to see. There are some people who are just not going to choose to see, and that's okay. I've grown tremendously and matured tremendously as it relates to some things I just ain't got time for. And when I say my yeses are yeses and my noes is noes, it's just that. And the only people that I'm responsible for asking or answering to is the people who say that I want you to lead me. It's the people and the 6 other board members that allowed me the honor of being the president of this board. I don't owe it to anybody else. So as I stated earlier in the meeting, and I put this out before, I've done an exceptional job of holding my tongue, and I will continue to do so. But I won't tolerate no disrespect. I don't care who you are. And you will not disrespect not one member on this board. Don't matter who you are. You will not belittle or disrespect the kids in our school district. These are our babies, and we all stand in the gap for them. And we will continue to stand in the gap for them. Because even though they may not have all of the things that they need right now, they show up. And they show up even when adults in their life don't. So we owe it to them. And we owe them because we are paid to do what we said we were going to do when we took the contract and signed our names on the dotted line for what we're doing on behalf of students. Now, I am no longer fooled by the whole, I'm doing it for the kids. Oh, I'm so in love with the kids, the babies. Sure? If you sure about that? Because I'm really going to make sure that you're here for the kids. And so I'm grateful for all who have come and said what we're going to do on behalf of students. But this time around, you have to show me. You have to show me. And you have to show this Board of Education. Thank y'all so much, personally, for taking the mantle and standing by me as we make choices and decisions. We know what the partnerships look like and we know what they should be. No longer will nobody bully us into making decisions what's best for these kids. And if you want to know what's going on in this district, they'll come to these meetings. Or they'll call you and say, can we have another meeting? Or they'll call this leadership. And you don't get to duck this leadership because you don't like what this leadership has to say to you. You can't be a Johnny or a Jane come lately and then ask for a meeting. So, got a minute and 19 seconds, and my vice president and trustee Shaquana Davis-Smith, I remember when she didn't say a word. I'm still nervous about what's going to happen. But thank you for the OU Peace Partnership, and we look forward to them talking to Dr. Leverett and us being able to support where we can. And so, OUPI. Oh, okay. Oh, OUPI. Okay, well, I stand corrected. I appreciate it. So, thank you so much. No, you can't have my last. Which one? My last? Hold on. Wait a minute.
30 seconds.
No. Hold on. Wait a minute. You gotta know your teammates. You want to go to leadership, you better know your teammates. Okay, ready, go.
Hey, I like to say I was over at the middle school early today, and I like to actually commend your social worker that's actually working there. I did my little walk through the school, and I heard a little noise in the art room, so I went in, and I started talking to the teacher and the kids. And but listen, when I got there, it was a girl crying.
Okay.
And she was crying. I guess she had been bullied or however, and she had said something about killing herself. And they took immediate action. The social worker came down. She addressed the class. She had the girl. I don't know what else happened after that, but I like the immediate response and everything. Just our process and our procedures, what happens goes on there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm taking 30 seconds off your meeting time next week. Need a motion on the floor to adjourn. So moved by Trustee Davis-Smith, supported by Trustee.
Everybody.
Everybody.
We all
No, we all support it. I'll say Trustee Terry. Questions, comments, or concerns to the adjournment? Do I got no questions about leaving? No more buses to throw? Oh, okay. Listen, those at home, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If there's any part of this meeting that you found to be helpful to anybody at home, make sure that you share that point. We'll have the time codes listed on the Facebook page. So again, thank you so much. Roll call, please.
Trustee Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes, sir.
Trustee Davis-Smith. Yes. President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Secretary, I don't want to leave.
Yes.
7-0, sir, in your time.
You didn't actually know I want to leave because you knew I was going to say no. But my answer is going to be yes. Meeting adjourned at 8:56. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to all of our social media pages. That's where you can kind of find a lot of the information. Go to our website. If you have not pushed the follow button or you have not subscribed to the website to make sure that you get our newsletters, make sure that you do so. Thank you so much. God bless you. We love you. Trust the process.
Question is.
This
Yeah, she fight.
Yeah, well, that was the hand that was swollen. What's up, numbers? Look like we're not playing in the Super Bowl.
We got out at 6:07. No, yeah, adjournment, right there. Oh, we came out of sports section. Yeah, 6:07. We're right into yes. That's right. Now I see what you're saying. We on the same page, babe. Yes, immediately.
If you catch that second pass,
So he went in like
last Friday when I had surgery, he realized that I had so all that time. I've been dealing with it.
All right, Frank.
You said just wear and tear. No. Yeah, so all that time.
My brother.
You gotta fix this.